about like the night sky and the sky from day to night, right? That's what you read yesterday. You read Starry Night. Today, if you get to it, you're going to read Mr. Putters and Tabby, See the Stars. Okay. And so we're going to read The Sky is Full of Stars. The Sky is Full of Stars, Jimmy. And it's written by Franklin M. Branley, illustrated by Felicia Bond. On a clear, dark night, go outside and look at the stars. Stars are to the east of you and the west. Stars are to the north and to the south. Stars are overhead. They are all around you. The sky is full of stars.
How deep is this?
All of the stars, Jimmy, I need you to be quiet. All of the stars are far, far away. Many stars are so far away you cannot see them without a telescope. Some stars are so far away you cannot see them even with the biggest telescope in the world. There is one star you cannot see at night. This is the sun. The sun is our daytime star. Did you guys know that the sun is a star?
No. So I made some holes.
When you first look at the sky, the stars may all seem alike to you. But take your time. Look for a while and you will begin to see the differences. Some stars are brighter than others. You may see half a dozen or so that are very bright. Jimmy, don't be walking around without your mask. If it's a very clear night, you may see that stars have colors. You may see that some stars are white and some are red, some are blue, and some are even yellow. Okay, it doesn't show that in the picture, but you have to look up on a clear night and you can see the different colors in the stars. Just eat your breakfast and clean it up later, Jimmy. Come on. You're flinging milk across the class. Stop. You may see stars that are in one part of the sky early in the evening that have moved to the other part later that same night. So early in the evening it's here, and then later that same night it's over here. That is because stars rise and set just as the sun does. When a star is rising, it is in the eastern sky. When it is setting, it is in the western sky. It will set below the horizon just as the sun does. The star started over here and then ended up over here, buddy. The stars move through the night just like the sun moves through the sky. At different times of the year, you will see different stars in the sky. On a clear night in December, you will see a very bright blue star called Sirius. But if you look for Sirius in June, you would not be able to find it. On June 9th, Sirius is on the other side of the world. Summer stars are different than winter stars. People who lived long ago looked at the stars a lot. They imagined that the groups made pictures. They saw a lion in the sky, a bull, a hunter, a rabbit, a big dog, and a little one, fishes, birds, fishes, and other things. Now we call the star pictures constellations. In the whole sky, there are 88 constellations. Now they're not, they're kind of like connect the dot pictures, right? Like,
yeah.
They're not, so this is one that you can see right now in the sky. And it's kind of like a connect the dot, because the stars are not, and of course there's other stars all over too. So, you know, you have to kind of be able to see these stars in among all the other big stars. And even this is going to meet up of little stars and big stars. So this is a constellation, and we'll talk about this one in just a minute, and I'll show you the connect the dot kind of features on it. Because right now, you might not be able to see. Okay, and then of course there's other stars in the sky all over.
We don't care about the others.
All right, we're just talking about the constellation stars, like, and I'll show you the connect the dot kind of in that in a few minutes, okay? But that's one that you can see in the winter sky, and I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Okay, so there's 88 constellations in the sky. And can you see all 88 at once? No, some you see in the winter, some you see in the fall, spring, or summer. You're not going to see them all at once. You see them at different times. Have you ever tried to find the constellations?
Yeah.
Okay. And one of them is the Great Bear. You may already have seen part of it. That part is called the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is easy to find, but it's harder to see the rest of the bear. Its feet and legs and head. Those are the parts that are hard to find. When you look for a constellation, you must use your imagination. That's what people long ago did. Because you really, you know, especially like some of them, it's hard to see a bear out of what they see, but the part that you guys have probably seen before is the Big Dipper. That's inside of the bear.
Miss Kennison,
What you mean?
that this happened, it can see in outer space.
That's awesome. Okay. Suppose you were starting February at about 9 p.m. It's dark by then, so you can see the stars. Go outside and face south. To find which way is south, just remember where the sun sets. It sets in the western sky. Stand so your right side is towards the west. You will be facing south. As you look south, you will see even brighter. You will see 7 bright stars quite high in the sky. They are the part of the constellation called Orion. Orion is the brightest constellation in the winter sky. Well, careful, Max. That's okay. You're just going to have to pick them up and throw them away, okay? Ancient stargazers thought this group of stars looked like a hunter. They called the 2 bright stars at the top of the constellation the shoulders of Orion. Above the shoulders are dimmer stars that make the arms of Orion in his club. In his left hand, Orion holds a shield. The 2 bright stars at the bottom of the constellation are his knees. The 3 bright stars in the middle are his belt. Okay, so remember my connect the dots over here? This is Orion. So it's saying, see the 2 bright stars right here? Those are his shoulders. Okay, you connect that to like his neck over there. There's some dimmer stars that go up here. Okay, and then they connect to his, this is a club. Because remember, he's a hunter. Okay, so that's a hitting club. Okay, and then over here, connects to some a dimmer star over here that then connects to his shield. Okay, that's a shield. And then this connects down to his belt, and his belt are 3 very, very bright stars right in the middle. Okay, that's his belt. And these connect down to his knees. Here's his knees down here, the very bright stars here. It's the brightest constellation in the winter sky, so you should be able to see it, but that's Orion. Okay? And like I say, it doesn't have all these things drawn in between them. That's kind of our connect the dot picture. And then you imagine his little head up here. Okay.
You can see it.
Yeah, can you see it? You can't. So here's his chest. Here's one arm going up, connected to it. He's got a club, which is like kind of like a bat. Okay. Over here, he's got his arm bent and he's holding a shield. It's kind of curved around. Here's his body, his chest. Okay. And then think of him wearing like a, and then these are, connected down to his legs, his knees. Okay. So that's Orion, the great hunter. Louise, honey, you need to sit up, sweetheart. Thank you. If you're right, I can do that. Go get a snooze.
The name's not right yet.
The stars that make Orion's belt are called Anatak, Nilam, and Mintaka. Okay, they named the stars that go on his belt, and that's what they're called. Some of the names and the stars sound strange to us because they are not English words. That is because they are hundreds of years ago, the Arabs and Persians named many of the stars. Today, we still use many of those names. February is also a good time to look for Sirius. It will be to the left of Orion and a little below it. Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. It is brighter than all the other stars except the sun. Oh, now I want to go out there and see if I can find Sirius. To the left and below Orion. Okay. In the springtime, you will see different stars. In the middle of April, face south, about 9 p.m. Look for a bright star. It will be almost directly in front of you. It's quite high up in the sky. This star is called Regulus. A little bit above Regulus, look for 5 stars in the shape of a question mark turned backwards. The question mark is the head of the constellation called Leo, the lion, the main constellation of spring. Regulus is the heart of the lion. To the left of Regulus, you will see 3 stars that make a triangle. One of the stars is a bit brighter than the other 2. It marks the tail end of the lion.
You said that's my brother's name, Leonardo.
Yeah. In the middle of August is a good time to see the stars of summer. As soon as it's dark, look south. Once again, same direction, south. You will see 3 bright stars high in the sky. Vega, Denab, and Altair. Each is in a different constellation. The star to the right, Vega, is the brightest star in the constellation Lyra. Lyra means lyre, a small stringed instrument used long ago. The bright star to the left of Vega and a bit above is called Denab. Denab is the constellation in the constellation Cygnus, the swan. Lower down is the bright star Altair. It is in the constellation Aquila, the eagle. If you look for Lyra, Cygnus, and Altair in July, they will be a bit towards your left. In September, they will be towards your right. Okay, because remember, the constellations slowly move through the sky too, not only throughout the night, but then they change with their position during each season. Just like the sun changes its position in the sky, and that's why it's warmer or colder. Okay, we're almost done with this. In the sky, if the sky is dark and clear, you will be able to see the Milky Way. Summer is the best time to see it. People used to think it was a weather cloud. It looked milky, and that's why they gave it the name. Later, when people looked at the Milky Way through a telescope, they discovered that it was really billions and billions of stars. The stars are very far away and very dim. They seem to blend together into a cloud of stars. Okay, girls, you are too close to each other. About 9 p.m. in October, face south. Nearly ahead of you, you will see 4 bright stars. They make a square. They are a body of a very unusual horse. The horse is upside down, and it has wings. It is the constellation Pegasus, the flying horse. Look at the pictures to see where its head, legs, and wings are. This will help you find them in the sky. As you find the constellations, or even before, you can make your own pictures of them. Ask someone to help you cut out both ends of a coffee can. Then cut a hole in the plastic lid that comes with it. The hole should be just large enough to fit the end of a flashlight through it. Cut out 4 pieces of cardboard, each large enough to cover the end of the coffee can. Mark the stars of the constellations on each piece of cardboard. See, and they've got them for Orion, Leo, Lyra, Pegasus. Have someone help you punch holes through the stars with a sharp nail. Twist the nail to make the holes as round as possible. You can sandpaper the edges of the hole to make them smooth. If you have dull black paint, you can paint the inside of the can. Hold or tape the cardboard over one end of this can. In the dark room, point the can at a wall or the ceiling and turn on the flashlight. You will see a picture of the constellation you drew. It will not be as clear and as bright as, say, Orion really is, but the picture will help you remember the shape of the hunter in the sky. Cool. Now you know a few of the brightest stars and constellations in the sky. If you keep stargazing, soon you will know your way around all the sky. Maybe someday you'll travel all over the world, far to the north and to the south. When you do, you'll see more and more constellations. Someday you may see all the constellations in the whole sky, all 88 of them. Only a few people know them all. All right, and that is the end of the story. The sky is full of stars. And that's definitely a story I like to kind of read over and over again because I learn something new each time. Or like if I read it in the spring versus the fall or the summer, I can go out those different times and check the sky and see if I can see what they're talking about. So it's a pretty fun book to reread over and over.